sorry. That relatable moment when you record your video, only to realize that the audio was super bad because you had your mic down here and it sounded like this the whole time. Welcome to another video. It's been a while. Did you miss me? No, you didn't, because the only people who watch my videos are my immediate family. They see me pretty much every day. And no one watches my videos, so no one missed me. Okay, let's continue. Today we're talking about labels in the LGBT community, and you and me and all the other gay people in the world, and labels, and coming out, and the labels that we use when we come out, and why sometimes they're kind of unhealthy. Do you want to hear him? Hold on. Never mind. I'm sorry for wasting your time. Now, let's start off by defining what is a label? No, go ahead, tell me. Fine, I'll just tell you myself. A label, in terms of what we're talking about today, LGBT plus community, yes, shut up. In terms of the LGBT community, it is a term you use to identify your sexuality, your sexual orientation, and or your gender, and the way you express your gender, and etc. Okay? For example, me. It's all about me all the time, because I'm awesome and hot. I am a cis girl, and I used to go by the term lesbian. Don't now, and I'll get into that later. There's also micro-labels. Micro-labels are for people who identify partially with a label, like pansexual, but not entirely, so they kind of specify exactly what's different about that and what it has in common. For example, like omnisexual, it's like pansexual, but a little more spicy. Homosexual, but like homoflexible, like you're gay, and you like being gay, and that's what you do, but you're also a little bit, you would okay, you would date a person of the opposite sex if it really came down to it. If they were really it, if they were like the tomatoes to your lettuce in a salad, then that's what you'd do. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are micro labels. People use those micro labels when it comes to gender. Like, the main idea is like non-binary, but there's also gender fluid and agender and demigirl and demiboy, all kinds of them. And that's what people are more comfortable with identifying as. So next time I hear someone complaining about people using micro labels, I'm gonna have to attack them with knives. Okay? So watch out. Okay? Now I'm telling you this for a reason and for a good reason. Okay? I'm saying it because labels are kind of wacky, okay? And I will elaborate. No, I won't. This is the end of the video. I'm just kidding. Labels can be weird. I know that I mentioned just a few minutes ago, I was like, yo, I used to be lesbian, but now I'm not. I mean, I still like women. It's that I don't identify as a lesbian anymore. And that's because I realized the label just wasn't fitting. It's true. I like women, and almost exclusively women. I like non-binary people, and I just have to admit it, men are hot, okay? Not all of them, but sometimes it's kind of sussy. I get kind of sussy. I see some of them, and I'm like, now I see it. This is why straight women exist. Sorry for the background noise. I have a family or something. It's almost like I have a life. Hold on. Well, no, I don't want to bother her. So for people like me, the label just didn't fit no more. And so we stopped using them. And for some people, the label fits perfectly. Good for them. Good for them. I love it. I love to see people being comfortable in a label. But the reason why I bring up people being uncomfortable in a label is because I think that a lot of us who realize that we're not comfortable in a label, we're restricting ourselves to that label. For example, I came out, well, okay, actually, I didn't come out. My family just kind of knew, which is unfortunate. I identified as pan before, and then they just kind of found out. I don't know how to explain it better than that. I used to identify as lesbian. That's kind of the term that I always used when telling other people who I am. Like, if they were like, okay, you're gay, what kind of gay are you? What flavor? What flavor are you? And I'm like, I am peaches and cream. Okay, bestie. I am berries and oranges. Don't know. Like, that's what I am, bestie. That's what I am. And I was comfortable with it. Kind of how I came out to a lot of the people in my life with the term lesbian. And only recently did I realize, wait a dang minute, guys. Hold the phone, park the car, close the front door, and put your keys back in your house, okay? We're settling down after a long day of work right now. I think I'm vibing with no label lately. There's nothing in specific. I'm just a girl who mostly likes women. I love women. Women hot. Women hot. I also like non-binaries, and I can't stop looking at men. I finally realized that, yeah, I just don't vibe with that label anymore. I feel better. And I realized it's because after a long time, I kind of really like attributed my sexuality to my label, which that's not what sexuality is. Sexuality is natural. Everyone is completely different. There's no completely, utterly, straight up answer to everything. There's no definitive answer to sexuality because it's not a question. You can question your sexuality, but sexuality itself isn't a question. It's you and what you do and what you are, but it's not a question, so there's no answer to it. Duh. Easy enough. And so for some people who just really don't feel comfortable enough with a specific label, they don't use one. Or they use a completely just underground one, like no one heard of it. Like the band Baby Flamehead. If you heard of Baby Flamehead, dude, I will marry you. If you don't know me, and you just genuinely know Baby Flamehead, please. I love Baby Flamehead. I love them so much. But like, I don't know what I'm saying. Hold on. If you're not comfortable with the label, you shouldn't feel restricted. You know what I'm saying? If you're questioning your identity, don't let the label you chose a couple years ago determine what you think now. The word that you use to describe yourself to friends, to family, the word that you came out with, sometimes it's not applicable. You were different 5 years ago. You were different 2 years ago. You were different a year ago. You were different half a year ago. Doesn't matter how long ago it was. You're a little bit different now. You've learned things. You've changed. You can't keep fitting yourself into a mold if you know that you're lying about something to yourself. When I identified as lesbian, I felt the constant need to back everything up. Like every time I commented on a guy, I was like, wow, that actor is handsome. Or, sheesh, I'd go straight for that guy. And the thing is that using labels and like keeping yourself restricted to a label can be pretty damaging. You're kind of scared to say that you don't identify with that anymore. You might also just be scared to admit that there's something about you in your sexuality that you weren't aware of, or your gender too. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting about you. It's because I'm constantly thinking about myself and I don't have any other gender. Those could be some reasons you're scared to like change your label or to reconsider your label, but try it, you know? Like, I know that it's scary when it's something you've been living with in consistency for a long time, but at the same time, if it's bothering you to a point where you are questioning it, it's worth trying to like open your mind a little bit to perhaps you were wrong in the first place, or perhaps not you were wrong, but you just didn't know. Like I said, you learn things. Okay. Sheesh. And then I was gonna say something else. I forgot what it was. I mean, okay. I know that there's like some points when you're scared to come to terms with a certain label because you grew up hearing things about that label. People might be scared to admit that they're bisexual because they're like, well, wait a minute, I thought bisexuals were all of these awful things you see right up here on the screen. And so you're scared to admit it, even if you know that they're not true. And that was even me with being lesbian. Like, I heard that lesbians were like the kind of people who wear vests. Don't know why that was so frightening to me. To be fair, I really did want a vest at one point. Don't want them now. I hate vests. Unless they look good. There's just things you hear, and then you don't want to admit that that's what you are. You don't say nothing. And that's not good for you. It's not good to pretend that you're something else because you're scared to open your mind, or to admit that maybe people coming up with those stereotypes were just completely wrong and stupid. Or you're just still stuck in that mindset, internalized homophobia because that's how it happens sometimes. You get a thing ingrained in your brain so much that it's really hard to unlearn it, even if you know it's not true. But anyway, yeah, don't be scared to change your label. Don't be scared to question your label. And don't be scared to question whatever you might have on your mind. Sexuality, gender, sexuality, Favorite color? I know I questioned my favorite color lately, and I do not regret it. I used to like blue and blue exclusively, and then I realized sage green is such a good color. Oh my god. And I could not be happier. Could not be happier. I think that's about all I have to say. I didn't really script this, hardly at all. I wonder if that was obvious or not. I watched T Noir's video. Oh my god, I love her. Dude. Oh my god. No, I literally watched her video, and just her talking about it inspired me to make this video, and I was like, okay, so what you're saying is that I'm going to make another YouTube video. Okay, say less, bestie. I literally love her. She's perfect. She's got so much grace, dude. So much grace and so much elegance, and I'm jealous. Dude, honestly, if you want to watch a longer video in more depth and why it matters so much, please watch hers. I will try to link it in the description. She's a genius and a mastermind, okay? And she's gorgeous. Oh my god, she's beautiful. And if she were to see this, I would lose my mind. I would blow up and die. I'm acting kind of sussy right now. Sorry. But yeah, if you have any extra thoughts and opinions, anything you think I might have missed, don't be scared to tell me. No, go ahead. No, I'll wait. Go ahead and tell me. Tell me. And as always, maybe don't question your sexuality. Let people choose what you are for you. And just kind of stick yourself to a role for the rest of your life. It's for the best. Okay. I guess that's the end of the video. I don't know why I didn't plan this out better. Okay. Goodbye! I just wanted to come back and apologize for not having a more abrupt ending. So here is your abrupter ending.